Thought I'd do another one on the mark of the beast. Um, I thought it might be interesting. Anyway, since I believe the Bible and also believe Book of Revelation to reveal Jesus, who Jesus really is, and I agree with all Christians around the world that Jesus is the Son of God and is God the Son. Okay. Um, in the Book of Revelation, there's a mention of a number called 666. This is referred to as the mark of the beast. The book of Revelation is a prophetic book that tells us the events that will happen in the last days before Jesus returns. Chapter 13, verse 1 to 13, uh, describes the dragon who empowers um, the beast, and mentions the mark. Um, it's worth reading if you've never read it. The Lord has decided to reveal the meaning of this part of the scriptures to me. This alarmed me a little bit, that um, because it suggests that the church needs to know about it. So I was wondering, why do you have to explain the mark of the beast to me? Why? Okay, so it alarmed me a little bit. Although I did not know the Lord, when the Lord is returning, I can discern the season, I guess. And if the Lord is telling his people about parts of the scripture that have been hidden for almost 2,000 years, I believe these events must be getting close. Okay? If he's revealing those secrets to his people at the moment, then it must be for a reason. So this is a warning to the church that as well as an unveiling of the scripture. He is coming soon. Okay, there's the big warning there. Uh, I'll I'll read the Revelation chapter 1, 13, chapter 13, verse 1, in the New King James Version. Then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. Now the beast which I saw was like a leopard, and his feet were like the feet of a bear, and his mouth was like the mouth of a lion. The dragon gave him power, his throne, his great authority, and I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded and was healed. And all the world marveled and followed the beast. So they worshipped the dragon who gave authority to the beast, saying, Who is like the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And he was given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and he was given authority to continue for 42 months. Then he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and those dwelling in heaven. It was granted to him to make war with the saints and overcome them, and authority was given to him over every tribe, tongue, and nation. All who dwell on the earth will worship him, whose names have not been written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If anyone has an ear, let him hear. He who leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He who kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Then I saw another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and spoke like a dragon. He exercised all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those to dwell in it to worship the first beast. Um, whose deadly wound was healed. He performs great signs that he even makes fire come down from heaven on the earth inside of men, and it deceives those who dwell on the earth by signs which he has granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as that would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark of the beast. Has the No one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast. It is the number of a man. His number is 666. Okay. Woohoo! Lost big passage there. Now, at the time God started revealing what the mark of the beast was about, I was studying something else, and I wasn't really too interested in the subject at the time, so I was a little surprised he kept talking to me about it. I knew it wasn't my mind's, wasn't really me who was interested in it. It was him wanting me to find out about it. So, first thing I thought of maybe is I need to study numerology or find out external things about what the number 666 means. But then realized the answer must be in the scriptures. Since it was written in the New Testament, it has to be hidden in the Old Testament. After that, that sounded pretty logical to me. If it was written in the New Testament, then the answer to the mystery must be in the Old Testament, and not outside of it. And then I got a little curious. I figured God was trying to talk to me about it, so I turned to the book of Revelation and started reading from Revelations chapter 18. Here is wisdom, let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for as the number of man, his number is 666. When I read this verse, another thought jumped into my head about that verse. I thought, who in the Bible has the most wisdom? And that would have been Jesus in the New Testament, but since the mystery of 666 must be hidden in the Old, I figured it must be an Old Testament person, so that of course would be Solomon. So then I thought maybe I'll look at the Book of Solomon to find out if it reveals anything about the mark of the beast. So I opened the Bible to the Old Testament looking for Solomon, and opened at this passage, 2 Chronicles chapter 9 verse 13. Okay, directly opened, bang, straight to this page, straight to this verse. The weight of gold that came to Solomon yearly was 666 talents of gold. That certainly got my attention because I realized God was directing me and trying to show me something, and I was wondering what that was. There may be a lot more to this revelation than I know, but the basic idea about the mark of the beast in 666 is to do with this. Solomon, he was wealthy, used to follow God, and after his wealth increased, he started to build temples to other gods for his wives. So he went into apostasy, falling away from the true God to other beliefs and gods. The cause of this has something to do with the gold he was receiving. The scripture that springs to mind is, you cannot serve both God and mammon. The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. I believe the Lord was showing me that that one of the aspects of the mark of the beast 666 is the love of money, and its result is false worship and apostasy. I think you should read that yourself, but pretty safe bet to say that the end times is going to have apostasy, and the mark of the beast will have something to do with apostasy. I'd say that's a very safe bet. The apostles also say the same thing, that there would be a great falling away in the last days. Apostasy means to fall. It means that in the last days there's going to be a great falling away from the scriptures to other religions. Most likely a combining of them, like what Solomon was doing, making temples to lots of different gods. Okay, so combining religions together, or maybe combining the Christian religion with another false one. That's my guess. My next understanding of the mark of the beast comes from someone, I honestly can't remember where I heard it, but I'm not going to take credit for this. Okay. Anyway, put it in here. In Daniel chapter 3, verse 1 to 7, Nebuchadnezzar made an image of gold whose height was 60 cubits. Its width was 6 cubits. He set it up on the plain, and if you study further on, in verse 4 it says that at the time you hear the sound of the horn, the flute, the harp, the lyre, and palmistry, and symphony with all kinds of music, you shall fall down and worship the gold image that Nebuchadnezzar set up. And if you do not fall down, basically, and worship it, you will be destroyed. They'd actually get burned up. When you read the passage in Revelation chapter 13, the same thing, it says the same thing, that whoever doesn't worship the image set up by the Antichrist, the false prophet in the last days, will be killed. It says here, yeah, they have to bow down to the golden image, just like the Antichrist wants us to do, worship the image. He was granted power to give the image so it could speak, and cause as many as who would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. So it's the same thing is going to happen again. There were 6 musical instruments as well, so the statue of Nebuchadnezzar was 60 by 6 with 6 musical instruments. There's the 666, very clear as day. It was about refusal to image. What I find interesting is the image, the size of the image. Yeah, 60 cubits high, 6 cubits wide with 6 musical instruments. So there's the 666. Not rocket science. It's there, black and white. It's very easy. Not sure about the 6 musical instruments. I thought I could only count 5, but apparently there's 6. Yeah, anyway, the important thing about the mark of the beast is that it's showing in Daniel is it's a worship of idols or idolatry, and we're not to be idolaters or worship false gods. There's going to be an apostasy that was through the Solomon 666 part, and it was to do with gold, so I think it's got something to do with the love of money as well. Because the mark of the beast in the last days is about buying and selling, which happens to be the gold image and the 666 talents of gold. Gold seems to be a theme that comes through with the mark of the beast. And yeah, it's a recurring idea that revelations of apostasy, false worship, idols, and money seem to be what 666 is all about. The next revelation of the mark of the beast is probably one of the scariest. It's an interesting one. Check it out for yourself anyway. I could get it wrong, could fully have it wrong, so yeah, it's probably worth you checking it yourself. It's in Ezekiel 8, chapter 8, verse 1. In the 6th year, in the 6th month, on the 5th day. This message was written in the Bible. The obvious question, if you see the 6th year, the 6th month, on the 5th day, is you wonder what happened the next day on the 6th to the 6th to the 6th. That's the obvious question. And in my Bible, the heading in my Bible it actually comes up with is abominations in the temple. That's what it comes up with. So that's an interesting day. The next day is of 666 is about abominations in the temple. And it says the glory departs from the temple. This is pretty serious. If we're the temple of God and it's warning about idolatry, I think that's an important thing to for Christians to really be careful about. So there is some things on the mark of the beast. I hope you don't get it. Okay, whatever false worship, idolatry, apostasy, love of money, whatever it is, don't fall for it. It's a mark of buying and selling on the hand and on the forehead. That is going to be allegiance of some type to some religious, for some religious reason. You're not to take it. It says you're basically damned, eternally damned if you do. Okay, don't do it.